after watching it again on film, just the guys who had to step up, whether it's all the injuries on defense or at running back, just what did you think of the way some of those players filled in for you?
Yeah, we're really proud of those guys. Played really hard. They were excited about it, and then but nobody. It was not too big for any of them. DJ in particular, who had a bunch of responsibility with the carries and catching 5 balls and all that. He was right in the middle of the whole game plan, and he held up and did a fine job. It's really exciting to see that happen. It's fun. The guys get fired up, and however it works out. Sully did his stuff, and Penny Hart made a couple good tackles on the kickoff team. Guys are jacked about those guys. When they get their chance, they step up and do something good. So it was a good day.
Ben?
You mentioned being excited about going back to watch Stefan Sullivan's film of the game. After looking at it, what did you kind of see out of him in his first action at the defensive end?
It looked like his first time playing. He missed some opportunities, some assignments in some of the things. It was a complex game plan, and which didn't help him so much. But he played hard right off the bat. Got a tackle, right. Maybe his first play in the game. He was juiced up and had fun doing it, and it's just his first experience ever. I mean, even in practice, we can't get it as good as that, So there was a time late in the game I'd said to Clinton, and just leave him out there, just let him just keep playing, just get some snaps, and give him some opportunities to see what it feels like and all that. And so he first time out, he did fine.
Thank you.
Joe?
Pete, how close are Snacks and Philip Dorsett?
Philip Dorsett is not doing well. His foot has really not responded. We'll let you know. We haven't done anything about that yet, but he's not ready to go. Snacks has had like I told you guys, he had his best week. He's competing, ready, looking for his opportunity. For a guy to just all of a sudden just get put in the game, or put on the roster, there's got to be a spot for him. So Snacks understands that, and our guys are doing a nice job inside. So he's ready to go, the readiest he's been. I can't wait to see him again this week and see if he can add to that. He's been really on a get back in football condition for some time as he's been with us, and he's working at it really hard to get it done. He's been a fantastic member of the club and working hard, great attitude, helping young guys, the whole thing. And when his opportunity jumps, he's going to be ready to go.
And sorry, a really random one, but over the years, whether it's Cleats for a Cause, and then now you've done your shoes each week where you have seems like a different artist painting your shoes. And you have like a space in your closet for all your unique Nike Air Monarchs?
Well, what we're doing is we're giving those back and hopefully make something happen with those shoes as well. We're really proud of the artists that have done a cool job to do stuff. We're really trying to amplify the voices of young people that are doing really cool things in the communities and see if we can't give them a chance to get recognized and be seen and heard. And this is one of the ways that we're doing that. So I'm happy for it's working out fine, and hopefully something really good will happen for some of these people.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, after getting a chance to look at it, what stood out to you about the defensive performance? What strides did you feel like you guys made in this game compared to the first several of the season?
Well, we played one of the best running teams in the NFL, most committed running teams, and we really were able to play a really good day's work throughout. The perimeter stuff, the stuff they tried to do against us, we handled it. We played really well on the edge. Alton, Robinson, and KJ played really well to keep them from breaking down the perimeter of our defense. And then the guys chased the football like crazy in this game. So it was great to see that. The third down work was we got 3 sacks on third down in the game. We were alive and active, and it felt more like it felt earlier in the year in terms of our activity. But certainly the guys played really well up front and pursued the football like crazy. That made it all happen. So we made good progress. And the fourth quarter we didn't make progress in just getting off the field a couple more times. It's third downs, and we have to do better there. And so it was a good day, really good day's work. To hold anybody like that, particularly a team that's been ripping, we take pride in that.
Corbin?
Hey, Pete, you guys have been limiting Dwayne Brown's workload since the start of training camp to keep him healthy, make sure he's fresh. It seems like that's really paid off for him this season. Is this the best that you've seen him play since you guys got him a few years ago?
He's been so consistent, Corbin. I don't know that this is the best he's played. We have been able to manage, his preparation really consistently, really evenly, and so he has not had any setbacks to speak of. And so, he's playing really good, solid ball, and he's such a specialty player in that he's so gifted on the perimeter and able to get out on the edge and do some things, that most guys at that position can't do. We continue to try to put him in those positions, and he just keeps excelling. But I think he's been the most consistent. He's probably felt the most consistently good. Felt well, I think I should say, throughout the first 7 games of the season.
Bob?
Yeah, Pete, when you guys acquired DJ Reed, there was obviously.
Whoa, excuse me. Okay, gotcha.
Right. When you guys acquired DJ Reed, did you guys have a pretty good idea he'd be ready now? I mean, obviously that was sort of the issue, I guess. Maybe was his health and the torn pec and things like that.
Yeah, I think John hit this exactly on point. I mean, he hit it exactly right. He talked about, if we get this guy now, he's not going to be ready for a while. When we, down the schedule, there could be a chance where he could jump right in. He's the kind of guy that could jump in quickly and help us if we need him. I mean, he called all of it, and I loved what he looked like on film when we were evaluating him. He just played like he's been playing. It took him 1 week to get ready with the team, and the next week he played, and he had a really good game and a big factor in the game. So I would say that more so me, I think it was more John, put this thing into motion to give him a chance, and fortunately when his opportunity arose, he came through.
Art?
Pete, big picture question. Tomorrow is an election day like we probably have never seen before.
I agree with that one.
Yeah. And you've been an activist in getting the vote out, obviously, as your shirt says, and also trying to keep guys informed about what's going on. We could have a situation where there could be multiple outcomes, including no outcome, by the time everybody goes to bed Tuesday night. So what are you planning, if anything, on Wednesday morning to try to get everyone up to speed on what's happening and what might happen, as well as not losing sight of the work week?
We've been on the topic of voting and just kind of keeping it alive throughout. So it's commonplace. I mean, I mention all the time to start the meetings off, how many days were left to do it and what have you done lately and who you calling, who you working with, how far along are you in your process? I mean, all that kind of stuff. So I'll just go with the flow of whatever's happening. We all are waiting to figure out what's going to happen by Wednesday morning, and we'll see what occurs. We'll certainly be topical, and if there's something to talk about, and we'll deal with it. At this time, nobody knows what's going to happen, and likely it sounds like nothing will happen and be definitive. But who knows? We'll see. So we're going to stay on it. We'll stay with it and see if the guys have any questions, want to talk about it and all that, and we'll move forward. It's not a big deal for us to bring up the topic because we've been on it the whole time. So,
are you concerned about distractions as things go on?
At this point, no.
Jen?
EJ Dallas said that he feels like he belongs after yesterday's game. How did you see his confidence growing during the game, and what do you now have confidence in him to do that maybe you didn't before the game?
Well, this guy's he's got a real spirit about him, and he's been a great worker. He's been such a obvious guy right from the start. I think Russ talked about it a little bit. Right from the start when he arrived, he was early for everything. He was asking questions. He wanted to know what he needed to know, and he was inquisitive and curious and all of that in really all of the right ways. It sent really good messages. I'm not surprised a bit that he handled this because he hasn't appeared at any time like anything's too big for him. But this was such a big role, it could have made a difference, but it didn't. And so what we know about him now is he can go out and play the football game and come through, and we can win a game with him playing. And I think that's really exciting. He was tough. He was consistent. During the game, he had a big smile on his face. He was having fun playing, so he was he wasn't worried and all consumed by, oh gosh, what's going to happen next. He was having a blast playing football. And I once he scored once, that helped. And then he scores again, and he's cleaning it off, and the whole, though he's brushing the whole thing off, he was having a blast. So that's exactly what I would. And that's what all I've seen from him so far. He was very much in character and very comfortable with the opportunity, and was able to cash in on it because of that.
Nico?
Hey, Coach. I wanted to know, with Jamal Adams, how do you monitor his week? How do you progressively get him ready for game time for Sunday?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, because it's been a while since he's been with us consistently. We'll have a play pitch count during Wednesday and Thursday, leading into Friday. We'll take each day one day at a time to see how he responds the next day. It's really important, the signals that he sends us the next day, and we'll see what happens. So with the intent, and I know I'm saying this because I know he's excited and dying to get out there and get playing. That we really don't know, until we get through it. But with the really high confidence that the process has been great. He's had enough time, and he feels good. So now we just need to monitor it through. It's exactly what you're asking, in a really good way, so that he feels comfortable one day to the next. That means that we won't overdo it any day, and we might have to count plays in the game too. I don't know that, but we'll wait and evaluate all of that as we go through the week.
Thanks, Pete.
Masvita?
Yeah, hey, Coach. I wondered if you could talk about the patience of your team in two separate instances. The offense, the two early drives where they were there, but they stuck to the game plan. And then your special teams, they missed extra point, the 39-yard punt, and then there was a 65-yard punt. So patience in terms of the team staying focused in this game, last game.
Well, I do think that our guys, in particular the guys you're talking about, the kickers, that they've got great confidence, and they've earned that confidence through their work ethic and their habits and the consistency and the success that they've had. So whenever if they miss a hit somewhere, they're gonna, because they're competitors, they're upset about it. And I watched Jason coming off the field, and he was really pissed that he missed a kick and didn't hit it right. And but in true competitor fashion, both those guys came right back and did big things. Hit a 48-yarder later, and the big ball that Mikey put down in deep and changed the field and all that. Those guys are going to come through because they believe in themselves, and they've got the confidence, and they've got the background and all that it takes to have that confidence. They know if they miss one, they're not going to miss the next 10 likely. So that's the kind of ball players they are.
Brady?
Hi, Pete. Where is Carlos Dunlap in terms of the intake process, and is he going to be through all that in time to practice on Wednesday?
Yeah, he'll be in the building, I think, tomorrow. So he'll be here. He'll be able to come by on a day off and check in. He's been in communication with our guys. He's studying and all that already. But the first time he'll be able to physically arrive here where we can come in the building, I think, is tomorrow. So that's in preparation for Wednesday. He should be with us throughout the week. He will have had taken a week off, so it's like he had his personal bye week, and he's ready to play again. And he's been fit and all of that. So we're looking forward to him jumping right in, and he should be able to assimilate easily. He's had some days to learn, and he's been in communication with Clint and all that. So we've been messaging back and forth. So everything's going fine. It should work out just fine.
And with Phillip, where do you go from here? Do you give it more time to see what happens? Is surgery in play right now?
Let me just leave it that it's not ready to be disclosed yet to tell you what's going on, but it's not looking good for the near future, and he's been doing everything he can, and he's frustrated and all of that. So in the next couple of days, we'll get a little more clarity on it. Sorry, I don't have it for you right now.
Thanks.
Tim?
Hey, Pete, got two for you. What's the status of your running backs right now with Chris and Carlos for the week?
Yeah, Carlos has got a hamstring he's trying to come back from. It's hard to get that done in a couple weeks' time. So we'll see. Chris, he's got a sore foot that's getting better and feeling better. We're talking right now that we'll take a look at him on Friday and see how he handles it and how he feels Saturday after he runs on it on Friday. That's what we're shooting for. If he's got a chance to play, we'll know a whole lot more then. We won't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah, and back to Art's question about the election. Are you one that's going to find yourself watching what's going on tomorrow night, or are you going to be focused on game planning and then just kind of have that on in the
Well, I know you haven't been around my office, but it's kind of like I got 4 monitors going all the time, all different loads of information coming in, which I kind of like it like that, and so it'll be the same as it always is. I always have stuff going on in the background, so it'll be on. And I like to see kind of the variety of opinions that come out of the different networks and all of that. So that's always going. So that's a constant for me. I'll be tuned in. You can call in if you want and check in with me. Now I won't be the same as like calling Frank Luntz or somebody like that, but if you want to just check in, you could do that.
Greg?
It's a good shot for Frankie Luntz right there. Good for him.
Your first real extended look at Alton Robinson, did he earn more snaps with how he did yesterday?
Yes, he did a beautiful job. He played against the most accomplished edge blockers in Kittle and Jusic you're going to see, and he handled himself really well. He was disruptive. He was tough. He did not have any physical issues that he couldn't handle. I loved the way he played, the aggressiveness that he played with. It wasn't perfect, but it was disruptive and a big part of the success of the game plan. And that was a real challenge going in. He was going against some really good guys with great scheme and approach and all that. And I was interested to see what happened. But I think he made progress in this game. So very confident in the fact that he can play against anybody.
And I'm trying to think back to your SC and Depths and Patriots days. Have you ever had a punter who can change the game like Michael Dickson?
No.
Did that he did at the end of the first half, basically made them white flag that last drive?
No, he's an extraordinary player. What's really awesome about Mike, he's such a great athlete that he's got a athlete's. No, I don't be careful with that one. He's got a real competitive mentality that he loves being in the moment. He loves being in the challenge kicks and opportunities. He looks forward to it. He's counting on making every kick. He's got a great mental outlook of the game, and he's just another one of the competitors. Whereas sometimes people will kind of pigeonhole kickers as this and that. Mike he's an everyday ball player, and you can count on him to come through. And he's got great talent too, but his confidence level is right there, and we count on him to make those plays.
Joe?
Be curious how you'd evaluate Greg Olsen's start to your season.
Greg's been doing good. He's been solid. He's been there when we need him. The ball gets mixed around. One guy gets 20 targets one week, and the next week a guy gets 15 targets. The ball doesn't get spread as much when those games happen like that. But Greg's available to make the plays. He's been very consistent. He's a good ball player, and we're counting on him to make clutch catches in every game. And sometimes you get a chance, sometimes you don't.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, a couple more quick injury things. How's Mikey Potty doing? Where is he kind of in his process, and is anything happening there?
Yeah, I don't have an update today on that, but we're still taking care of Mike to make sure that we want to get him back, and we don't want to just kind of barely get him back. We're trying. Jordan's doing a good enough job that we can buy some time from Mike, and so I don't really have a good update for you specifically, other than we'll go into this week and we'll get to Wednesday and see where he is. So that's what I have on it.
And then how about Ugo and Benson?
Benson was really determined to get back this week, and I kind of expect that to happen. Ugo with the hamstring, it could be hard. He's kind of like like Carlos in that situation. It might not make it this weekend. We'll have to see.
Last question, Bob Condotta.
There's hope about your corners. It looked like you moved Quentin over to Shaquille's side and left Trey over on that side. Just sort of how you felt like that worked out and how guys played?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because that's because of the background that Q's had. He's played on both sides. He's moved around a little bit more, and Trey hasn't. He's always been on the right side. So we just went with experience in that regard. Both last 2 weeks, Quentin's done very well over there. So that's really helped us. His flexibility. He's very comfortable on both sides. I really like watching this guy play. He's got so much savvy and he sees so much. He doesn't make every play, but nobody can do that. But he's got some playmaking in him. He's going to make some big plays this season as we go down the schedule.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, see you. Hey, Greg, did you vote?
Did, yeah, last week.